He gives it 7th? Name a secondary better than the Giants. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. So today, we are kind of starting ranking season a little bit. I still need to watch, I guess, a little bit more film. Film is kind of hard because, you watch some of the highlights of the games while the season's going on, and then you kind of dive back into it. It's like, am I going to watch every single game here? Am I focused on every single player? So it's kind of daunting, per se. But, just take it one at a time. And you're not going to get every single player. You're going to get some players wrong, and it's fine. I'm thinking about doing a film review on Ryan Ramczyk and the other guy, Armstead, for the Saints, and whether their contracts are worth it, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, so today we're going to get into that franchise guy rankings of the New York Giants. And he has us 23rd. Now, as a Giants fan, I have us ranked a little bit higher than that. I have it ranked around 20th. Now, on paper, we're a 14, 15, maybe 13 team, somewhere on there, I think, on paper. But we haven't proven anything. I think it's fair to rank us in the low 20s. I bet you Denver Broncos fans see that they're ranked 22nd. There has to be somebody ranked 22nd. Not every team can be a top 20 team or top 15 or top 10 team. Like, we'll get into a little bit later, wide receivers. Not everyone's a top 15 or top 10 wide receiver. There are 30 of them, according to, people. There's like, yeah, he's a top 10 guy. But I think it's fair. We went 6-10 last year when we were celebrating. I mean, the Patriots went 7-9. It felt like the world was falling down. So this year we have higher expectations. Last year, all Giants fans had us at 5-7 wins. So we met our expectations. So I think it's fair for a Giants fan to say we're a 9-10 team win, whatever, this year. We're 9-10 win team, especially with the extra game added against Miami Dolphins, which should be fun. But let's just go through it. He ranks our wide receiver core at 8th. Now, talk about upgrades. We talk about the same things over and over eventually. We went from Golden Tate, a slow, short guy, to Kenny Golladay, a short, tall, but also slow guy as well. Doesn't get a lot of separation, but he can catch 50-50 balls. Daniel Jones, just read the defense. And maybe if it's a man-on-man, just throw it. Just an easy kind of 50-50, put the ball in the spot, and he'll make Daniel Jones, if he throws a ball an inch off, he'll make him right. And that's what I really like about Kenny Golladay. But then we have just versatile weapons everywhere. You have Darius Slayton that is not a great route runner, but can do a lot of things as far as his speed. When he does go man-on-man against like CB2 or true CB3, he'll beat him almost every single time. So he has some of that going for him. And now franchise guy breaks it down. I think 8th is right. But also a lot of other people think their wide receiver cores are great too. The Falcons like, oh, we're amazing. Cleveland Browns, oh, you kidding me? Jarvis Landry and Odell. By the way, just to look at it, Cleveland Browns, wide receiver core isn't great, but don't forget about Kenny Golladay. Don't forget about Evan Ingram, who's putting in a lot of work, which I guess everyone is. But he's gonna, after a Pro Bowl season, it feels like he's on a revenge tour, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I think it's fair. Let's say number 2, but let's go with the offensive line. He has us ranked 28th. He has Zach Fulton at left guard and Nate Solder at right tackle. Now, we all know what the Giants are going to end up doing. We had a lot of camaraderie that was developed. That Dallas game kind of showed what this offensive line could be, and not everyone is healthy. It was towards the end of the season. Shane Lemieux and Nick Gates are the two guys, believe it or not, I worry about the most. I've seen just on film Nick Gates, he's aggressive. He's really aggressive. Sometimes he gets fooled. Sometimes he actually gets overpowered by bigger defensive tackles. But the thing is, center, you can't really make that many mistakes. You can't really mess it up that much. Just snap the ball to the quarterback. A couple of miscues earlier in the season. He fixed that up because he was new to the position, and it was a COVID season, so he didn't really have a lot of reps to get in. And yeah, but Shane Lemieux is a big one I worry about, just getting a turnstile there. But as far as run game, with Saquon, it's going to be great. 28th, a little bit too low. I think we're better than the Falcons, Titans. I came out with like a whole list. The Jets. Well, Jets actually were pretty underrated as a unit last year at spots. They just, when they just got overwhelmed against the really good teams. But I think we're almost better than the Bills, per se. I mean, all they have is Deion Dawkins. But I think we have that potential to be as good as the Bills' offensive line last year. It just depends on Andrew Thomas's development. I think he's going to... Okay, I'll save the bold takes for a different video. And then the running backs, he has ranked 5th. That's about right. Now, Saquon, he has natural reactions to bounce to the outside. It's kind of one of those things. I like to compare it to Donald Trump. It's like Donald Trump just don't tweet, but that's who he is. If he didn't tweet, it comes with the package in a way. You can't. The reason why he's a ruthless businessman and he doesn't say take no for an answer. And maybe he thinks it's a little bit excessive. That's why he's successful. You can say, oh, he's not successful in the business, but let's just get. I think you get the analogy. It comes with the home run ability. You can't just turn that off because you turn everything off. And then you got a couple of 3-down backs and Corey Clement. I think he's dead on with the running back thing. I'm probably a little bit lower, probably like a 6th, 7th, because I think, just Browns, Vikings, Titans, just those three I just named off the top of my head are better. And we don't really have a running quarterback per se, so the running game, people say Daniel Jones underrated, but now he's like overrated in his rush game. Like, oh, he's better than Lamar Jackson. He's a Vanilla Vic. And then, is there any other unit? And then quarterbacks, he has 24th. I have Daniel Jones 20th. I think he's better than Ben Roethlisberger, who's going to have to get the ball out in 2 seconds. But he's going to learn the system better. The thing with Ben is he knew the system. And I think by the end of the season, you're going to say, oh, he's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's better. He's as good as a Sam Darnold. He's almost as good as a Baker Mayfield, as a Joe Burrow. I think he's going to take those leaps and bounds this year. And, he's going to be around the 20th best. And he has us ranked the 24th offense. I think we have our cap is around 11th, 12th. I don't think we're a top 10 offense. But we think we'll settle in around 16, 17, about middle of the pack. And that's all we need. That's all we need. Because our defense is doomed to maybe regress. And actually, let's get into the defense. Because he doesn't give us enough credit, I don't think, in the secondary. Let's start off there. He gives 7th? Name a secondary better than the Giants. The Browns? The Rams got rid of everybody. But Jalen Ramsey, that's the only corner they have at this point. We start breaking it down. Oh, they drafted a round 3 guy that I think is going to come up this year. No. The Browns, maybe. But Denzel Ward is always injured. He's fast, dude. But they got 2 cornerbacks from the Rams. Greedy Williams, maybe, but they haven't proved it yet to me. The Giants have proved it. The only people we added was Adoree Jackson. Now, we have 7 guys that are going to start. We know them. Jabril Peppers even like that semi-linebacker role as well that he can play. Yeah, Jabril Peppers, in my mind I said Landon Collins. But we're just not going to sub anybody out. And Isaac Yiadom is sitting there on the bench a little bit and warming it up a little bit. He'll come in at spots. Somebody gets injured. It's not going to be the end of the world. But we're going to be able to be versatile. These guys are going to understand. Adoree Jackson, Logan Ryan, they're going to be buddies. He's going to pick it up quick. Adoree Jackson, he's going to be able to cover a Tyreek Hill, the guy that James Bradbury might not be able to cover. It's going to allow him to, succeed even more potentially. But I do have concerns. I think, did I make a separate video about that? I might have. But I'll make one if I haven't, just a highlight to James Bradbury. But 7th, I don't see many teams better than us. I was running through it. I'm like, Green Bay? They have 1 or 2 guys. The Bears, they got rid of, the Broncos with a rookie? Are you trusting? They go against, I don't know. I really don't know where the 7th. Miami? Okay, let me know. But he has our linebackers ranked pretty low. And that's kind of true. Tate Crowder, he did miss a decent amount of tackles last year. But he's a rookie, so it's hard to tell. But his size, I worry about his size a little bit. But he has a nice story. And he had a fumble recovery. I think he had an interception as well. Sometimes the ball bounces into your hands. I guess right place, right time. But he's a player's coach. He's going to work hard. And that's what you kind of need. I just worry about his size a little bit. His missed tackles, a little bit of concern for me. And then Blake Martinez, I think he just hates Blake Martinez. But he's still going to get helped by those defensive tackles. Our run game is number 4, which is true, 100%. Dexter Lawrence is going to enjoy those double teams soaked up by Leonard Williams, and we have some depth with Austin Johnson and B.J. Hill. 4th is a great ranking for us. I think that's dead on. And then pass rush, I think he needs to give us a little more credit. One of O'Shane, Lorenzo, Odigbo, they're going to feed as well as Leonard Williams. I don't think Carter Coughlin's going to be the guy. I don't. I think maybe you could say Cam Brown is going to succeed a little bit, but I don't like either guy's bend around the edge. I like their speed, but I think Carter is more of an inside run defense guy that just by his makeup and tools. And you're going to blitz him at some spots. Thing is with Denver Broncos, they blitz 4. You know they're going to blitz 4 every single time. You should know what for. The Giants, you know how many they're going to blitz. So that's why I think in spots, we were almost a top 10 sack team last year, pressure team. And that's because of the scheme. And I think the scheme is going to work again this year. It doesn't matter because we have new talent. Patrick Graham's going to switch it up. And he's a top 10 coach. That's what's going to help us. A top 10 coach on defense. A little bit lower in the middle of the pack offensive coordinator. You don't need brilliant schemes if you have great weapons. And I think the defense is going to be 7th, 8th in the league. So if you said blindly, a team has the 8th offense or defense and the 16th offense, you weigh offense a little bit more. You're like, no, they're a 14th team. And there's 7 teams in each conference, and I think that the Giants are going to make the playoffs this year. And I think TFG is ranking us a little bit lower, but you have to see it to believe it. And I don't really blame him for hating the offensive line, for hating the pass rush, because we haven't. We say we're going to be a top half offensive line this year because you say we like Mike Remmers, we like Nate Solder, and it ends up failing. We have a nice young core of guys, and we'll see what happens. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.